What's good? We back with the Boston Clinic. More your boy TJ Goodfella, bringing you the breakdown prediction for the main event of the Premier Boxing Champions, card in Brooklyn, New York, which is Adrien the Problem Broner taking on Jessie Vargas. At the Barclays Center. I plan to be out there, so if you're at the Brooklyn Barclays Center, hit me up, comment section. Quickest way to get in touch with me is the Boston Clinic and more, as it's spelled on YouTube through Facebook. I want to give a few shout outs before we get into this. Please subscribe to the homie Colossal Boxing Talk. He almost at 1,000 subscribers, and also Trap House Boxing. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers as well. Appreciate everybody for rocking out with us. I know a lot of people have been waiting on this. I see a lot of people talking about the Tekashi 6ix9ine, Adrien Broner beef before, even talking about this fight and breaking down this fight. A lot of channels don't do any breakdown predictions. It is what it is. I'm consistent with breakdown and predictions for fights that I believe are worthy of them. And like I said, throughout the week, I'm gonna spread them out. I'm gonna get to Charlo and Hugo, which I think is an underrated fight. Tank and the Jesus guy he fighting, who just lost to Abner Mares. Might get into some Carl Frampton, no need of there, and some more stuff, But obviously people are saying Broner not focused because he beefing with the Tekashi 6ix9ine guy. I don't get into these whack rappers, man. I don't really care about the guy. Obviously, apparently the guy bet some money on Broner, lost, and said something on his Instagram, and Broner, tell him he'll pull down on him in New York and all this, man. He needs to be focused on fight week, and it's not, it is what it is. People say, oh, he's not focused, he's going to lose again. It could be, At the end of the day, I would just be focused on my fight going to New York. I'm not worried about no beef, but at the end of the day, he's a showman. And he probably, using Tekashi 6ix9ine, this should be some fake beef they setting up to promote and sell the fight. That's my, hypothesis on that. But we got two good fighters. And I believe that Jessie Vargas, to open up my opening statement for real about the boxing match, I believe Jessie Vargas is getting a raw deal from a lot of boxing fans. People remember Jessie Vargas for Josito Lopez, Khabib fights of that nature, saying that, he's a basic 1-2 fighter. And if you still believe Jessie Vargas is that same basic 1-2 fighter, you're a fool. Because you haven't been watching, since the Saddam Ali fight, him and the Timothy Bradley fight, even the Pacquiao fight, he was competitive with his new style that Dewey Cooper brought to the table. Now he's training with Mike McCullum, the body snatcher. He's trained with Roger Mayweather, Eric Morales, Roy Jones Jr., Dewey Cooper, now Mike McCullum. I like to see him stay with Dewey Cooper. Dewey Cooper, changed Jessie Vargas, and in a way that other trainers couldn't get him to break the basic 1-2. He did. He got, Vargas leading off with left hooks, looping right hands, which is going to be a key in this fight, which I'll get into. His jab looked good. He was punching better under Dewey Cooper. Good hooks to the body, good jab to the body. He was doing a lot of good things. Adrien Broner, last time we seen him, he was fighting Mikey Garcia at 140. He looked like dog shit. People saying that he's focused now with Kevin Cunningham. He's doing all the right things. He's sent people from his camp. They usually come to camp with him. He told them to stay home. Just him, Tank, Kevin Cunningham, and everybody that's with Kevin Cunningham in West Palm Beach, Florida, in that gym. If you didn't know, Coach Kevin Cunningham, who coached Corey Spinks, Devin Alexander, now his brother Von Alexander, who got out of jail, moved from St. Louis, where he was retired cop at, to West Palm Beach, Florida now. He said he wanted his fighters to be more comfortable. It was a cleaner environment, good weather, stuff of that nature. And Broner, chose to go down there. Broner did work with Kevin Cunningham before. When Devin Alexander had an upcoming fight, I believe it was with Timothy Bradley. I can't remember who it was. But he worked in the camp. And we know, Broner's old coach, Mike Stafford, was more of a fighter's coach. He was more timid. He loved Broner. And like I said, Broner had a lot of yes men in his camp. With a father and a mother, it seems like nobody can get through to him and tell him not to piss away this golden opportunity that he had, And Kevin Cunningham don't seem to be a yes man. He seemed to, kind of steal some type of discipline, some type of structure with Broner. A lot of people thought Floyd Sr. would be a good fit. Obviously, it didn't work. I seen Broner work with Roger Mayweather before. Roger said, he was stronger than he thought. He was a better fighter than he thought. But at the end of the day, Broner made the decisions that he made. Seriously. He makes the decisions that he make. They are not always good, but now he pushing 30. It's time to mature the mind and mature his game. But also, excuse me, also in my opinion, before I get into it, he fights the wrong style. Broner. He fights the wrong style. And I elaborate on that more. I've done videos on that. But I definitely like the fight, like the matchup. It's at a catchweight at 144. If I didn't, express that before. Jessie Vargas in the past has fought between 140 and 147, going up and down, up and down. Now his body's starting to mature. I don't know, can he settle at 144? That's the, one of the major questions for Jessie Vargas. But for 8 beat all day boxing. But for Adrien Broner, start off with strengths. Adrien Broner has fast hands. His upper body, his upper body athleticism is good. Fast hands. He got solid power. He got a good jab. Got a good left hook when he throws it. Got a good right hand. When he's given time to sit back and pick you apart, he's at his best. When the fight is at a slow pace, he's at his best. He got good uppercut. He got good hooks to the body. He's a tremendous body puncher. I think his body punching is underrated because, he doesn't utilize it enough. Like I said, I think his jab is good. He throws a lot of good punches. Like I said, upper body is phenomenal. I think he's a smart fighter as well. I think he can make adjustments in the ring, but I think his physical or some of his technical issues limits him to being the best fighter that he can be. But like I said, he got a good jab, a good left hook, a good check hook. He got good body work. He got a good jab to the body. He got a good right hand off the jab. And you look at him upper body wise when he can fight at the pace. You give him time to think and sit back and pick you apart. I mean, he's an excellent fighter. He looks like a phenomenal, once in a generation type of fighter. In my opinion, when you give him that opportunity. For Jessie Vargas, the left hook has come a long way for him. It was a punch that he shied away from, didn't throw early in his career. Like I said, a lot of people remember Jessie Vargas for being, a basic 1-2 fighter that was given a lot of gifts or given the benefit of the doubt. A lot of his fights with Top Rank and with Mayweather Promotions at first. But like I said, the left hook is improved. He got a looping right hand. Those going to be the two punches that's going to be key versus Adrien Broner, which we elaborate later on. He got a good body punching. And will Mike McCallum being his coach? Anybody know Mike McCallum, remember him, the body snatcher from Jamaica. He's the real body snatcher, not that punk over in the UK. We should see Jessie Vargas with improved body punching, and that could be the recipe for be the first guy to stop Adrien Broner. He's a decent athlete. He got a solid chin, granite chin. Like I said, the jab is solid. He's leading off of right hands. He's leading off of looping right hands. He's leading off of left hooks. He's a different fighter right now. It's night and day. You talking about the weaknesses? Weaknesses for Jessie Vargas. Obviously, he's not an elite athlete. Obviously, he's not. In this fight, the weakness is going to be he's not a fluid combination puncher. And with Broner, that's one thing that, a lot of people has used is being tedious and staying on Broner, either like Mikey Garcia did, just staying on him, working him, putting, physical and mental pressure on Broner, and just throwing punches and keeping him work. Even Garcia did it. He just kept that jab in his face, and he worked off the jab. He threw combination punches. Even if it was 2 or 3 combinations, it made Broner think. It made him freeze. Anything over 2 in a combination, even maybe more than 1, it freezes Broner. But Jessie Vargas is not always comfortable fighting at a high pace and fighting with behind high volume punching. In this fight, that could be an issue for him. Like I said, he's not an elite athlete. He don't have the biggest speed or he's not the biggest puncher as well, and that could be another issue. Maybe Broner feels like Paulie, he can't hurt him, that he can take more chances than the chances that he hasn't took in the past. But pretty much for Vargas for that, he can close distance a little bit, but I wouldn't say he's a master at cutting the ring off either. We see Mikey Garcia did have some issues cutting the ring off on Broner last fight, and Broner was able to move around and survive. But I believe if Mikey was able to cut the ring off a little more, a lot more on Broner, Broner probably would have quit in that fight, in my opinion. I don't think mentally Broner was there versus Mikey Garcia. For Broner, obviously he can't handle combination punching. We know that. And for Broner, he can't handle high pace and high volume, which Jessie Vargas isn't known to start off with high pace, high volume. Late in the fights, he starts to heat up with some volume and some pace, but I don't think it's enough to really say Broner's going to be a problem, especially with the lack of power that he brings sometimes. He was punching harder with Dewey Cooper, but I don't know. But like I said, there's a couple things working for Broner in this fight, and I'll explain a little bit later again. But like I said, for Broner, he get caught with a lot of looping shots. You could dress him up, throw a jab to the body, come over with a right hand, throw a left hook, left hook, right, looping right hand combination, which Jessie Vargas knocked down Saddam Ali and helped him knock out Saddam Ali with that combination. His technique wise, Broner's lower body sucks. I think that's the reason why he can't really fully mature into the boxer he wants to be. His base. Sometimes he come out wide. That signifies that he coming off the throw with a lot of power shots. But now he moving up in weight. He needs to close his legs and start boxing a little bit more. But Broner has flat feet. A lot of people look at the flashy hand combination, the flashy movement sometimes. But look at his feet. It's always flat. Always. And he really can't get on his balls, his toes. He did with Mikey Garcia, and it was successful versus Garcia, but he didn't look comfortable moving versus Garcia. He don't look fluid, moving like a Saddam Ali or moving like a Mayweather. He don't really look fluid moving. And I believe a big issue with Broner, and we did a whole video on this, was the simple fact that Broner is fighting the wrong style. He's trying to be a boxer, puncher, counter puncher like Floyd. He's not a good counter puncher, especially when you put pressure on that ass. I think he needs to be a pressure fighter. I think he needs to walk his opponents down. That's when he at his most effective. He has a great left hook. That's another trait that a lot of great pressure fighters have. Left hook upstairs, left hook downstairs. He got an excellent jab. That's another trait a great pressure fighter has. A good jab. He like wearing the earmuffs. He's an excellent body puncher. His identity, his DNA really is him being a pressure fighter. If Kevin Cunningham could figure that out, make him into a pressure fighter like a Chavez a little bit, like a Madonna a little bit, somebody that can fight on the inside and just, show him how to tie up and how to work on the inside a little bit better, I think they'll have a lot of success in this fight. I don't think that's what they're going to do, but to me, that's the issue with him. But, keys to victory for Broner is basically going to be, fighting at your pace. Vargas will fight at your pace early. And if he's able to sit back and, box, he'll pick Vargas apart early. And it's going to be Vargas trying to catch up late in the fights. Broner just putting a jab, sticking behind his speed. And if he's able to fight at a rockabye baby or a lullaby pace, he's going to pick Vargas apart. Body, head. It's going to be up to Vargas to really pressure him. And if Vargas pressures him, Broner, I feel, is still gun shy for the Madonna fight, and I feel it's going to be an issue for him. I think it's good for Broner to go to the body, being this is a catch weight for Vargas, and Vargas, in my opinion, is a true full-fledged 144 fighter. Did he do that versus Sean Porter? No. He should have went to the body more versus Sean Porter, dragging a guy down that was a 165-pounder in the amateurs, who started his professional career off as a 154-pounder. Yeah, I believe he should have went to the body on Porter a little bit more. But he didn't. Vargas, I think it's important for Broner to go to Vargas' body early. Like I said, if this dude was to fight the pressure fight, I think he'd be better off even versus Jessie Vargas. I think he might be a naturally better puncher than Jessie Vargas, even at 44 or 47. But I don't think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity to pick Vargas apart because Vargas takes a long time to really heat up. So I think Broner is going to be able to box, move a little bit, stick behind his speed, pick Vargas apart. I think he goes to the body often. And a lot versus Vargas, take some air out of that tire, puts the water in the basement and tire Vargas out for the long haul. If he put a lot of work in the body, Vargas is not going to be able to hit that third or fourth gear in late in fights and come on hot like he did with Saddam Ali, Timothy Bradley, and fights of that nature. I think key punches for Broner, like I said, the body work, the left hook, the jab, left hook, right hand combination. He's going to have a lot of opportunity to hit Vargas. Vargas has been showing a little bit of head movement with Dewey Cooper, not with McCullum, but it's not natural head movement. It's kind of orchestrated. It don't look natural. So I think he'll be able to touch Vargas up a little bit. But for Vargas, I think Vargas had to come out hot, set the pace high. Ain't no warm-up period. I think you got to let Broner know he the boss in the ring. Use his jab, lose the looping right hand. And then, set him up with the jab to the body, then come with the looping right hand. Hooks to the body, make Broner feel it. A lot of body work when you get on the inside, and he trying to run and hold. I think the left hand, looping right hand combination that Vargas throws that hurts Saddam Ali ultimately stops Saddam Ali for Vargas. I think it's gonna be key, but I think early, Vargas the left jab, right hand over the top combination for Vargas. It had a lot of success for Madonna. I think he possibly can jab upstairs, jab downstairs, throw that looping right hook, jab downstairs, right hook, looping right hook. I think lead left hand right hook, looping right hook combination is going to be very, very successful for Vargas this fight. The jab and left hook combination too. Jab and then hook off the jab again. I think a lot of things he could do to dress up Broner. Broner's been vulnerable to people dressing him up and setting him up. And that's my opinion on that. I think a lot of body work from Vargas, a lot of aggressive nature from Vargas. I think when Vargas feel Broner power, it's going to let you know if he's going to be aggressive or not. I think Broner still has some underrated power, even at 144, 147. Like I said, Vargas don't move his head a lot, but he's starting to do that a little bit. But I still think it's not natural. But I think for him, the jab, for Vargas, this is going to be the battle of the jabs this fight a little bit for positioning. But I like Vargas' jab upstairs and downstairs. So is Adrien Broner's jab upstairs and downstairs. But I think Vargas got to start off hot. If Vargas starts off hot and able to shake the rust off and the early woes off and start off putting pressure on Broner early, a lot of pressure on Broner, a lot of pressure. Step the pace up early and set the tone early. I think he wins this fight. He might open himself up to a knockout due to trying to make the weight or a knockdown or something like that. But I think once Broner has some flashbacks of some left hooks, looping right hands, some jabs to the body, overhand, right hands off the jab, I think he's going to mail it in. I just think he's a mental midget in the ring at this point. I'm expecting Jessie Vargas to put on a hell of a performance. And, like I said, I just don't believe Kevin Cunningham has got through to Adrien Broner. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong on that. But I expect Jessie Vargas to win a unanimous decision, probably about 3 or 4 rounds in my opinion. I just think he's the better fighter at this point. I think he's the harder worker at this point. I think he's a fresher, cleaner fighter. He don't have anything hanging over his head that I know. I think him and Mike McCallum going to make sweet chin music by chin checking Adrien Broner. I don't believe he's going to knock out Broner. I still think Broner got enough in the tank to make the distance with Vargas. But it surprised me, Broner, had a career highlight reel fight versus Vargas and got a stoppage. Fuck yeah, it surprised me. I just don't believe the hype no more. I don't believe it. And he has to show me for me to believe it. But I got Jessie Vargas, unanimous decision, 3 or 4 points.